let's wrap up, James. We got one more game to talk about, which you were at, which I didn't see come in, to be honest with you. But
Sorry,
obviously, Newcastle having to play their B team gave you a chance, and they. What happened in this game?
That's Newcastle's A team, mate.
As
they've got no B team, that's the problem for Newcastle.
You had an XG of nearly 4, 23 shots, 7 big chances in a game. I don't think I've seen 7 big chances in a game for a long time.
I don't know. Manchester
18
United
shots
had against
inside the
Chelsea
box
at the weekend, but it was close. United might have had more, you know.
Last week, big chances.
Wednesday,
I don't think
maybe.
it was 7. I will have a look, though. All you can say, based on all of the stats and the scoreline and the XG and the heat maps and everything, is comprehensive 4-1 win.
Yeah, it was, and very pleased, obviously, for fantasy reasons as well. I can't think it's ever happened before where Tottenham players have saved my game week, actually, literally.
Yeah, it's mad.
I mean, imagine if they'd kept that clean sheet. What would have been 40 points from the 3 players without captaincy?
Man United only had 5 big chances against Chelsea, James, and Chelsea also had 5 big chances in that game.
Did they really? It didn't feel
like that's
it.
an XG of 4.17 versus 1.5 in that game, but 5 and 5 big chances.
Let's talk Newcastle first, because you know me, I'd like to talk about Tottenham, and I might have got rid of my cough by then. So they've obviously gone with the same team, which is understandable. Kieran Trippier is obviously now suspended for the Fulham game, so at least you know he's going to get a break. I don't think that guarantees that Livramento plays all the games now.
No.
I think Lewis Hall probably plays against Fulham. Livramento plays right back, but then Livramento might get a rest for Luton or something else afterwards. For Jamal Lascelles owners, there has to be an awareness of Botman being close. Fabian Schär feels like the safe play because he is playing every game. But you do look at Livramento, Lascelles and Dubravka and think, well, surely I can save some money if I want Newcastle. And the next 3 fixtures are really good. I'm not certain to go with any Newcastle offensive player. Wilson being back obviously muddies for Isak, who... I mean, they ended up moving Isak to the left yesterday and Gordon up front during the second half just to shove things about. It didn't work for them. I think there's always the danger with Isak that could happen, that he ends up on the left now that Wilson's back. I thought Almiron looked like more like erratic old Almiron yesterday. And I've spoken him up as a real kind of differential versus to Gordon recently. So Gordon, I think offensively, is still the one to consider. He's going to be borderline. I'm not certain on him at all, actually. I won't make a decision on that till after Milan's gone. You got to think he's playing 90 minutes again against Milan on Wednesday. Like, could they look at Fulham therefore and then go, oh, right, so we'll make a change here. We'll stick something back in. Or, you know, could they even play Matt Ritchie against Fulham? That's part of the problem Newcastle have had as well. They've had difficult fixtures as well over this really, this period of injuries.
1-0 on PSG as well.
Well, Milan Wednesday night.
Milan, sorry.
Obviously, if they lose, they're out of Europe completely. If they draw, they're in Europa. If they win, they're in the Champions League. If PSG don't win in Dortmund, I still think there's every chance they'll go through, actually. But they might also, if they don't score early, they might get done over through fatigue on the counter-attack later in the game. I think it's possible. They look a tired team, and that's perfectly understandable. The loss of Pope is massive. It's massive. Doesn't mean Dubravka's a bad pick in goal. No. He's still one of the best set-up teams defensively. But there's a knock-on impact to that too. Is Trippier worth that money longer term, etc.? You know what he is offensively, but if you're looking at them going, well, I think they're going to concede every week, does that become worth the money?
That's what I'm willing to answer. I'm willing to sell Trippier for Porro this week. And then look at that Luton away game and think, are they really going to keep a clean sheet? Probably not. So then I'm reliant on Trips' attacking returns. Let it go. So I might let Trips go for a little while.
I think Dubravka will come with me. I think. But it's not a certainty, honestly. Because I'm aware, looking at those fixtures with Newcastle, you think, next 3 is great. In play them in all of them. But there's a different keeper I want after that. I think. So he's not a definite. Lascelles, I think I've got a cut Because in any case, Botman's going to be back soon at some point, and he'll come in for him. Livramento is a maybe, and Gordon. That's it. They're the only few really under consideration. For me, Tripp's suspension comes at a time you go, I've got to leave that.
You can avoid it. Yeah,
I think so.
Spurs, you sticking with the same three?
No, I think I'm going to cut Udogie, actually.
I thought you might cut one of the defensive. Are you going to add a third, though, or just let it go?
The 4 yellows is off-putting. And by the way, Christian Romero's landed on 4 yellows now, and he should have been sent off yesterday.
Yeah, I heard he's back to his brain-dead self again.
3-0 up as well, mate.
I don't trust him.
Can't defend it. Sorry. I'm sorry that he wasn't sent off. But 4-game ban if he was sent off, mate. Bloody hell, what are you doing?
I know,
just let him go.
He wants Christmas off to chill with his family. He can go back to Argentina, sit on the beach, or go wherever he wants to, eat steak. He wants. Do you remember he got that suspension before the World Cup, so that he had a couple of weeks off before he went to the World Cup last year as well? I remember you were a bit sus about him then. He knows when to time his suspensions.
I don't know if there was a Callum Wilson thing going on yesterday.
With him and Romero?
Well, obviously Wilson came on late in the game.
Yeah.
Romero's done him. Vicario was pulling faces at him.
At Wilson?
Yeah, which Wilson thought was really disrespectful. But it's okay for Wilson to talk disrespectfully about fellow players. So you can't have it both ways.
I listened to Wilson last week, and he was saying the first thing that he does when they get on the pitch, right, is just fucking run into the centre half. Like it's 6 of one, half a dozen of another. He's like, as a striker, you step on their feet, you back into them, you run into them, and what the central defenders do, same thing.
No.
So it's 6 of one, half a dozen. Yeah,
I'm not defending Romero in any way. Please understand that. I'm saying that because of the comments he made about Richarlison.
Yep. But he didn't say anything about Richarlison. Antonio did.
But he was still a part of it. They might have been looking for him.
Yeah, but so if I now cuss out Romero for being an idiot, you're still part of it.
What?
If I now abuse Romero, I say Romero is an idiot. He's a redhead.
He's an idiot.
Are you then by association a part of the same slagging off of Romero? You can have your own opinion, right? He didn't necessarily cuss out Richarlison. It was Antonio. He just laughed along at the joke. So I wouldn't say he called out Richarlison. But also...
Antonio couldn't be got on Thursday because he didn't turn up.
I think there's a difference between facts and pulling faces. But I didn't see these faces. What was he doing, pulling faces? It sounds like 5-year-olds in the playground.
Wilson had a header and he went straight to Vicario. And Vicario ran out as if he was going to throw the ball somewhere. And as he did it, he was like in his face.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it was playground stuff.
But it's clearly because Wilson said something back.
I don't know if they were trying... What I'm saying is I don't know if they were trying to get at him or wind him up because of the stuff that happened with Richarlison. I don't know.
I don't think so. I think it would have been in the game, in the moment.
But part of that is because I can't explain what Romero's done there yesterday. It's honestly, it's idiotic. And he's potentially letting his teammates down again. Massively. It's a red card. I don't know how he gets away with it. And we can't
because there's bias towards the top 6, mate.
We can't do without him. There were a number of Tottenham players who were exceptional yesterday after difficult nights on Thursday. Ben Davies' distribution in the second half was brilliant. I spoke about this on one of the pods last week, saying you'll be surprised at Ben Davies' distribution now Romero's back, because against City, they shoved everything to Emerson, and the natural thing to think, well, Romero's back, we'll shove everything to Davies. Davies' distribution was excellent, and obviously had a probably the pivotal moment in the game where he's got a little touch that denied Isak an open goal, basically, at 0-0, and then the game could be very, very different from there if that goes in. I'll come back on to Pedro Porro because that could be an hour. Bissouma, much better second half. Pap Sarr's return, huge for us. Energy and legs back in the midfield when it's looked a tired team recently. I thought he was great for first game back. That's one people have forgotten about recently. Big plus for us. Porro...
Playing well.
I think he's playing better than well, mate. Absolute baller at the moment. Defensively playing well. Offensively ridiculous. Could have had a mega haul yesterday. He's a certainty for me on wildcard. No doubt about it. He's probably the first name near enough. It's absolute certainty. And with him, particularly while Maddison's out as well, know that Tottenham will concede dumb goals like yesterday, but he's still going to be worth having, I think. Offensively, it's definitely worth the extra on Udogie. I know Udogie scored yesterday. but he's definitely worth the extra. He's coming for Pedro. Tottenham could have a bad problem with Udogie and Romero get injured, suspended at the same time, because obviously they're both on 4 yellows. I mean, if that's Brighton away, we would be in huge trouble in that fixture as a note. Sonny on the left. So Richarlison did fine up front. He's scored 2 goals. That's his first goals he scored for Tottenham with his feet. Did you know that?
Okay. Did he keep his shirt on?
Yes, he kept his shirt on.
Okay, I'll DM Antonio.
Yes, he was definitely onside
for
funny
for
both
Antonio.
goals.
My mate messaged me yesterday, really randomly. This is completely distracted. I was at the Juice tournament, and my mate Alex Fernandez, who's a big FPL guy as well, he said, "Found your boy." That was literally his 3 words in his WhatsApp message to me. I was like, found your boy. What kind of, like, my children are at home with my wife. I'm here at FPL. Which boy of mine have you found? And I said, who? And he just sent me this photograph of, he was there with Mikel Antonio. Oh, and there's a third guy in the photo who's a random Sikh guy with a massive beard and turban and stuff. I'm like, that's someone famous as well? I don't know who that is.
Okay, great.
Anyway.
I'm very pleased for this shit nonsense you chose to share for no reason.
We were just talking about Mikel Antonio.
So, San on the left. On Friday's pod, I said, if he plays
shirt taken off. That's why we're talking about it. Antonio. Richarlison didn't take his shirt off for his goals.
He didn't take his shirt off. Okay.
There's a few questions on Twitter, by the way. I'll just chuck them out there. Can Richarlison cover Son?
No.
Points-wise for FPL.
I might go Richarlison on wildcard.
Short term.
It's just a rogue one. Like, fuck it, yeah. Sod it.
If
he's going to play there, he's interesting.
I've got Phil Foden, and obviously I want to cut down my City players for 18. I did look at Foden to Richarlison just for a short-term punt. Why not have a go for a couple of weeks, see what happens kind of thing. But it really would be that. It wouldn't be like this strategic masterclass of FPL management. It literally just having a punt on Richie.
So, Sonny on the left. Okay. I said on Friday's pod, if he plays there, forget it. It's not an option. When the game started yesterday, I thought, well, he ain't coming with me on my wild card. He's going. He's going to be the easy one that allows me to keep Saka, Bowen, whatever. I don't want him. Don't want him if he's going to play there. And it might be that I changed my mind on that. I obviously can't sell him at this moment, right? I'm up like 0.4 on him. He's going to get steamed into this week after the return. The fixtures are good. I can't get rid of him, can I? No way. So how did the returns come? And why did it happen? And will it keep happening? So I don't know if it was a one-off to play against Trippier, because Trippier had a difficult game Thursday night, and Son obviously knows him and his weaknesses well, right? And it's bad, both goals, but particularly the second one. To be honest, on the second goal, Trippier's pathetic. Let's mark it outright. It's pathetic. So I don't know if it was a let's target him, and also a little bit of having an aerial presence with Richarlison, if needed, through the centre of the pitch. And also acknowledging that Richarlison did look better in terms of his movement yesterday, because he had been playing the majority of this season with an injury. And I'm prepared, Richie. I'm here for it. I'm prepared to give you one more chance. But I also wouldn't be shocked if on Friday night at Forest, Richarlison's on the left and Son's up front. I wouldn't be shocked, honestly. Also, obviously, the final goal for Son comes with him. He's moved back through the middle. And that's the big thing for me that would perhaps be most interesting here as well. Is there also an idea here of using Son on the left in an opening, let's say, hour, 70 minutes, and when teams are tiring, having Sonny back through the middle as a different challenge? And that alone would still make him interesting. So I think you need to be aware of Son's positioning. I think it could become a problem. It's not at the moment. I probably wouldn't steam into buying him if I didn't own, actually, because I'd be a bit concerned about that. Like, if you've got major midfield problems, cool. But if your midfield's all right at the moment, I'd probably look at fixing different problems.
I'd probably hold off till 18.
Like, what's your thinking with him? Because you ain't got, have you?
I sold him a while ago. I'm going to let it go this week. And if I like what I see this week, then I'll get him in for Foden for 18 and then decide where I'm going to go from there. Because I'm going to downgrade Trippier to Porro. That frees me up a little bit of money. And I'm highly likely to sell Haaland for Solanke. So money's less of an issue for a little while, I would say. So I think I'm going to go back to Sonny. I'm definitely going to get a way of getting Porro in. I don't need a third Spurs asset. I just don't need the third Spurs asset.
No, I think for anyone wildcarding this week, Porro's son is definite.
Yep.
The third, I won't rule it out going back to Udogie. And that's if I'm not happy enough with enough defensive options. You know what I mean? Say Stones is like a no, you can't go there, and you don't want to go for Kyle Walker instead. Or, I don't know, something happens to Pau Torres, or I can't decide on a Newcastle asset. It might be that I go there because I still think at his value as well. Like, that's a great option. It's just Porro, in my opinion, is definitely worth paying the extra. The third, if I go for a third, it's most likely to be Richarlison. The Celso obviously didn't play yesterday, and the team had a little bit more energy. The link of the team still worked because Kulusevski in the 10 position played really well. Couldn't justify Kulusevski over Johnson or Richarlison. Richarlison over Johnson, I think, on the off chance that he stays through the middle. The other thing to factor is the next four, I think, are decent as a group. Forest, Everton, Brighton and Bournemouth, right? There's goals in there, I think. Might not be any clean sheets in there, by the way, but there's goals in there, I think. Now, if I go Sonny, which I'm obviously going to do, when I take him out, then I do know that Richarlison's playing number 9 if he's fit. And there's a few more games in January. Son might only miss 3 games, but he's United away, Brentford at home, and then the return against Everton. It's not terrible. And I might suddenly... I don't think it's one others can go for, but it's the sort of one for me on wildcard. I think I might consider it and I might punt it. And I'd probably rather do that at the moment than punt a Chelsea player. That's my feeling right now.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you.
As much as he pissed me off to hell, I might chance him. Richie.
Nice. He's not quite a doner kebab transfer. He's maybe more a chicken shish, I would say. The chances of him pissing you off are 25%.
The chances of him pissing me off are greater than the chance of him getting injured. Whereas Leon Bailey, I think, is only going to piss me off if he's injured. If Leon Bailey is sat on that bench for Aston Villa on Thursday night, he comes back in for me again, I think. I'll go for it.